So this video today is specifically for those of you who took strengths quite a while ago, but maybe haven't looked at them lately. This fall, just a few months ago, Gallup came out with a brand new version of the top 5 strengths report. So if you have not been into Gallup lately and looked at your strengths, this is a great time to revisit them because you have a lot more resources than you did before. So first off, technical. If you've taken strengths, Gallup still has your results. All you need to get access to them is the email that you originally used when you took the assessment. So you'll go into my.gallup.com, enter in that email. You can click forgot password and you'll get logged right in. If you do not have access to that email address anymore, which often happens, you can still get access to your results by simply going to the contact us or the help information on that same website. You reach out to them, they will help you get logged in. It's a pretty simple process. What I'm saying is you can get access to this data without paying any extra money to retake your strengths, without taking the time to retake your strengths. But you're going to have a lot more information now in this new top 5 report. I would love to show you what that report looks like. So this is my version. You can see this has my name on it. This is my CliftonStrengths top 5 report. And you'll see this first page looks pretty similar to what it might have before, and that it has my 5 strengths. It has them color coded by domain, and it has the short individual definitions. This is a great page to print and post somewhere in your space just to remind you of what are your top 5 strengths. It also goes in and tells us a little bit more about what those colors mean. And then for each of your top 5 strengths, you're going to have 2 full pages of information. This first page about each strength is going to give you a longer definition. And that paragraph at the top that is not highlighted in green, that is what I would call a generic definition. Everybody who has strategic in their top 5 will have the exact same definition. This part down here in green, where it says why your strategic is unique, is going to be different for everybody. And I love this about the new top 5 report. This was true for part of the old report, but in this case, all of this information in green is unique to you. And it's based on how you took the assessment. It's based on how your other strengths interplay with strategic, but it's not going to look exactly the same for each person. Which is pretty exciting. There's some information in here. You'll read it and see some things that might be really unique to the way you think about it. After that, in this page, everything on here is new. It talks about how each strength interplays with the others. So one of the things I think is really important about strengths is that my strategic is going to look different than somebody else's because it doesn't live by itself. It is influenced by the rest of who I am, including the rest of my strengths. And so this report is going to take each of your top 5 and talk about what those 2 strengths often look like together. So this is going to help you get deeper into what this looks like for you, very specifically for you. And then for each one of your strengths, it's going to have at least 2 action items, specific strategies that you can use to apply those strengths. So one of my recommendations for people on a regular basis is if you have your strengths, go through and pick one strength to focus on for a week or a month and pick 1 or 2 things that you're going to do differently to really implement that strength and really use it. And so if you could read this, which I realize you probably can't read all the details here, but if you could, one of the things you can see is it's going to say for me, my number 1 action item for strategic is to take time to fully plan your path forward. I see patterns where others see complexity, but it takes me time to really think through what those options are. So for me, planning daily, weekly, monthly, really thinking through how something is going to fit together is really, really important and is part of what helps me use that strategic to really figure things out. So I'm going to pay attention to that action item and really see how can I use that, right? Maybe in 2025, that'll be something I do even more. That particular one happens to be one I do a lot. But as you can see, if I scroll to my number 2 strength, it has this same information, the generic definition, what is unique for me, and then also these action items and interactions with other strengths. So you're going to have this for all of your top 5 strengths, which is so powerful. There's so much information in here. Even just picking one strength and really focusing on it for a week is going to give you a lot of information. And then if you get to the very bottom of the report, it's going to give you access to some additional materials. So it's going to have some links in here to take you into Gallup. It has some recommendations on how to name it, claim it, and aim it. And it has some QR codes that'll take you right back to the Gallup website to get some specific action items and more details about each one of your strengths. This report, I think, is a really powerful tool. And so for those of you who took strengths a long time ago, you haven't looked at it in a long time, you have access to this for free. It will cost you $0 and give you a lot of data to implement and to use, particularly as you think about your goals for this coming year. So if you haven't done that, download it and then make some notes in the comments. Come back and tell me, what did you learn looking at your new report? I would love to hear from you.